Okay, so there's about a 70% chance I'm going to cry, but I'm going to try not to. The thing, when I think about this trip, I went there thinking, oh, we're going to give things to these kids, we're going to bless these kids. Whenever you come back from mission trips, you're always like, oh, it was a blessing to me, it was a blessing to me. But I have never, felt so loved by people who barely knew me. And then these kids who had next to nothing were so willing to give you the things they had, to share things with each other. And I've never been around kids that were so sweet or touched my heart so much. I said that I think I cried like 6 times over there. And when we had our family night, I had to leave the room a couple times because I just started crying. And so the kids I was with, as Patrick said, they started to call me Mom after day 1. And one of the girls, her name is Alina, when they were going to pick her up at her house, on the second day, there was a car in her driveway, and one of the other girls said, "Is that your mom's car?" And she said, "Who, Rachel?" And when they got there every morning, they would come and grab me and hug me and be like, "Mom, we missed you." And one of the boys, Logan, and his name was Logan. Mitchell was in my group that we toured with him, and he is a hoot. He is something else. And he would ask the adults, he'd be like, "Where's my mom?" And he'd be like, "I don't know, is she at home?" "Never mind, there she is. Hey, Miss Rachel." Like, hey. And I think on the family night is when it really hit me. These kids are excited to get laundry detergent. These kids are 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I'm 20 and I think, oh man, I ran out of laundry detergent at school, and I know when I'm home I definitely don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. And I can't imagine, he said, oh, my grandma will be so happy she won't have to buy any more laundry detergent. And these kids, the first morning, we were just talking, casual conversation, and then I mentioned something about my parents, and Logan casually mentioned to me, yeah, both my parents were in jail for my first birthday and my first Christmas. And I was like, who do you live with now? My grandma and my parents are in and out of jail. And I'm trying to keep, not have shock written all over my face. And then the other girl says, yeah, my dad's in jail right now, but it's a good thing because he's a bad man. And I thought to think, for a kid, a 7-year-old kid, to think it's a good thing my dad is in jail because he's a bad man. And this is with knowing the kids maybe 20 minutes. And this is casual conversation for them. Oh, which one of your parents is in jail? Or, with the kids I had, it was against the norm to have both their parents there, or to have just one parent but have neither of them in jail. And I couldn't imagine, thinking that way. And again, I keep saying these kids, I'm 20 and I can't imagine having to think those things every day. And these are kids. I had one girl come to me during family night where she started crying, and I went over to her and I was like, let's go out, let's get some air. And she came out with me and she started crying, and I said, what's wrong? She said, I miss my mommy and daddy. And then I think about this neighborhood and these kids and what they've told me, and I said, well, do you live with your mommy and daddy? And she's like, yeah, but my dad has been in jail, but my mom is going to pick him up from jail tonight. And I said, well, you get to see your dad tomorrow then. And she said, she's 6 years old. She said, but my landlord told my mommy that if my dad gets in jail one more time, we have to move, we can't live here anymore. And she's 6 years old and she's afraid she's not gonna have somewhere to live because her dad's been in jail again. And she just started sobbing, and I just reached my arms out, and she just crawled into my arms and rested her head against my neck and just sobbed for 10 minutes. And, and I told her, I don't know what's gonna happen when you get home, but I know that God is always with you. And even when we leave and we're not here anymore, no matter what happens, God is always there. He's always listening. And she looked at me, she's like, even right now? Yeah, even right now. And I said, and we're going to be here tomorrow morning, so whatever happens tonight, you can come straight back in the morning and tell me all about it, which she did. But I was astounded by the love that I received in such a short period of time. And again, these kids who don't have anything, and on family night, they said, Miss Rachel, come here. And Logan pulled this bag out of his pocket, and he said, we got you a gift.
No.
And, I don't know. And as soon as he said that, before he opened the bag, I already started crying. And I'm, trying to hold it together, and he says, first of all, he said, we got you this phone case. He said, maybe it'll fit your phone. And I was like, no, did you get this for me? He's like, well, it was my grandma's, but I thought you'd enjoy it. Thank you. Thanks. So I have this phone case now. And then he gave, and mind you, all my children, that's a soap opera, isn't it? All my children are standing around me with these happy faces, and they hand me this. And it's a little cross, and each of them signed it, and drew a little picture, and they say, God is great, and then it says, Miss Rachel will miss you.
Mm.
And I don't know, I was expecting to give love to these kids, and they gave me so much in return. I'm sorry. I was expecting to go there to help them, and they kind of broke my heart in the best way, and they're saying, we're going to see you again, right? And these kids, don't have any constants in their life, and their parents are in and out of jail, and they don't know where they're going to live the next day, and they get excited to get a bar of soap. But yet they were going to sign this and give this to me, and they said, take a picture with us so you'll remember us. And I was like, I'm never going to forget you guys. And so, I've been on a lot of mission trips and we've done a lot of great things on them, but I've never felt like my heart was going to pound out of my chest and like I couldn't breathe, and I was trying to not cry in front of the kids, but just looking at this makes me want to cry again. But I don't know what I was expecting, but I know I can only hope that we worked in the lives of those kids, even a fraction of what they did for me, because I don't know, I've never felt this love. I've never felt like someone was so grateful for me, someone who barely knew me, and they really, really touched my heart. And that's the gist of what I was going to say, is, if we could all reach out that love to others, and if we could all just be there for each other and reach out to people, to kids, to your neighbors. It doesn't have to be somewhere far away, to just have that genuine human connection and that genuine love, and showing the love of Christ, but then showing your own personal love, and just to show people that they're cared about can make the biggest difference in the world. We went to show those kids that they're cared for, and they really cared for us, and they really gave love to a stranger, to someone that I couldn't imagine. And when we left, they're all saying, bye Mom, bye. And they made me ride in the vans home with them so they could wave bye to me as we go away. I don't know, it's just something that I'll never forget, and I want to go back, and I want to see my kids again. And I just want to share with you how special it was to me and how much they meant to me.